And welcome inside the Backstage Pass, almost a hump day, which will be tomorrow. Then, of course, we say bye-bye to the month of March and welcome in April. Again, happy early Easter to everybody out there, too, as well, in radio podcast land. And, of course, just in general, happy Easter early to everybody out there. And welcome in as we switch the calendar to April. Not sure where the time is going. Again, presented by our friends over at the CadenGordonShow.com, today's best country mix, Lady TLC's travel agency, and our friends at Bangtail Whiskey out there at KKTC True Country 99.9 and our friends at HighTideCountry.net. Please welcome in my featured artist of the day. Always have new episodes coming into as well. Cole Goodwin to the show. Cole, how you doing?
Doing good, Brandon. How are you?
Man, it's been a good day, so far too. Like I said, just weather's changing in Texas. Spring just last couple days ago, last week, whatever it was, first day of spring. So definitely, I know Georgia's got to be feeling like a spring kind of weather too.
Georgia doesn't. Georgia can't make up its mind on what it wants to feel like. It gives us 85 one day and gives us 50 again the next. So it's the wind's been blowing all day here. And it's been a little chilly, but we're knocking on spring's door. It's almost turkey season. That's how I gauge my weather. But
I don't blame you with that too. It's always good to get one of those and bag it when you can. And so that's see the squirrels kind of coming out and play a little bit too with hear their little squeals in the trees and stuff like that. Almost got that fall feel to it, but I love spring weather. And of course, this is the best time of year to be a sports fan because you got MLB kind of kicking off, March Madness doing its thing, and the NFL draft coming up in April. So I always love to put those together because that music is just two of my favorite things too. Hey, let's get to know you a little bit more out there too when it comes to the music and stuff. This EP's been out quite a while now, called Soon Enough, and you've been at this thing kind of as an independent artist for a while. Tell us a little bit about kind of what got you started and I guess when the bug kind of just took off and said, I'm going to take this from a hobby to doing this full time.
Yeah, I've always been very intrigued and interested in music before playing it kind of started happening, but always, middle school, as far back as I can remember, really any Hank Williams Jr. video on the internet, I've seen it. Any Waylon Jr. video on the internet, I've seen it. I really spent a ton of time as a kid looking at all that stuff and just studying it. And my mom sang. She grew up singing and sang around, gigged around when I was growing up. So I was kind of forced to be around it, which was great. And I don't know. I eventually I was like, I got to try it. And I've dabbled with the piano some. And then sophomore year of high school, I think it was, or maybe freshman year, we went and saw Hank Jr. and Chris Stapleton in West Palm Beach. And the day I got back, picked up a guitar and have yet to put it down. So it's kind of snowballed, but I wouldn't sing for the longest time. I would just play and kind of sit in and play lead guitar. And because I would sing in the shower, but I couldn't take the shower anywhere with me. I wasn't going to sing outside of the shower, but my mom and some folks she was with, they bullied me into singing a song one night, and it kind of snowballed from there, which I'm thankful for. But yeah, so that's I kind of had no choice but to dabble in it. But I'm glad.
Which is good there too. And like I said, I feel like you got a good taste in the music side of things too, because that old sound is just something that really reflects this particular EP that's out there. It really reflects you as an artist and your music. So that appreciation of a lot of the legends and people that I've talked to here on the show, the Johnny Lees and the Mickey Gillies and God rest his soul, and just all the great people that really paved the way, the Oak Ridge Boys, Restless Heart, and Shenandoah, things like that. I mean, that had to be some of the artists that really kind of shaped you as an artist today. Would you agree?
Yeah, totally. Ronnie Millsap's a big one for me. Obviously Hank Jr., Waylon, all the the outlaw country guys.
Mm-hmm.
I could name a million of them. Tracy Lawrence, Mark Chestnut, all those guys are good stuff to me. Reba, love Reba.
Yeah. Give me some thoughts on speaking of Reba. She's doing a fantastic job too with this whole voice thing and just featuring all these great artists that are out there too. And I think she's one of those coaches that I would like to be in a room with. And I'm not even an artist, but just to have those conversations with her and go through the dialogue from, like I said, picking the right song to stage presence to looking at the camera, the audience, looking at her, making eye contact, things like that. Is that something that you kind of pick up on or have picked up on from, opening shows for people like Zach Top and people like that, which I know the big one's coming up next week in South Carolina on a Friday, which is April 5th. Talk about that, just kind of going through the process of, kind of watching what those type of artists do and, maybe picking up a few things from shows like that.
Yeah, totally. I think there's always things you can pull from other people without copying them, or sometimes you can copy them. And I think it's good to pay attention to everybody else and everybody else that's around you, kind of doing the same thing, because everybody's doing it their own way, but everybody's also taking notes. So I'm
Mhm,
sure I would like to think there's probably a couple people watching me or thinking, hey, that was kind of cool,
mhm.
just like I am to other people that I see. But yeah, definitely. I'm a little stuck in my ways and like doing things my way, but I think there's definitely should be paying attention to other people and taking notes from them, because like I say, everybody's grinding, everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
So
No doubt about it too. And I love this because got to check into that, voted Savannah's best country artist last year, 2023.
yes.
That's a cool feat. Congratulations on that. Where did that what publication or how'd you kind of find out the news there?
Yeah, actually, believe it or not, I had no idea that I was even nominated for it until a girl I went to high school with texted me and said, "Hey, I voted for you for best country artist of Savannah," and I had no idea what she was talking about. That's when I found out. But yeah, we're got nominated for I think 4 or 5 of them this year.
Mhm.
So we're waiting to hear back on that. But yeah, kind of pretty exciting stuff.
It's amazing whatever's in that water in Georgia. And I know here in the South, we say the same thing about Texas too. But anything from this Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, this whole connection right here in the South too, and maybe a couple right there to the north too. But I don't know if it's something in the water with Georgia, but there's just so much talent. We mentioned Brantley Gilbert and, guys like Zach Top kind of doing their thing out there too. But it's just crazy, man, with so much talent coming out of the South now. And like you said, everybody's kind of doing this to shape themselves as an artist and kind of be the next big thing out there too. And keep climbing the ladder. What is it about Georgia that continues to kind of just put out great artists?
I don't know, man. There's something in the air down here. You know, pollen right now. But
Pollen.
but yeah, there's I don't know. And I think the whole Bible Belt, but yeah, Georgia seems to crank them out, and I'd like to think that I'm somewhere in the middle of that. But yeah, I mean we've got all different styles, different looks. You could think of anything, and one of it's come out of Georgia at some point. But
Mhm.
yeah, blessed to be from here.
No doubt, it's a great state. I love it so much. So this EP, I should say, album, same thing. Soon enough has got some great songs on there too. Picking You Up was my favorite one. Let's have you play a little something for us here on the show. What do you say?
I can do that.
All right, let's do that. Cole Goodwin here on the Backstage Pass. Again, if you ever miss a show, the Sports Guys Podcast.com archive there. And of course, KKTC True Country 99.9. And might have a new time slot on the shows. So coming up there 7 days a week. And of course, out there, HighTideCountry.net. The EP soon enough from Cole Goodwin. What are we going to hear?
Yeah, totally. I'll actually play. I'll play "Picking You Up." This is the third track on that EP, and it's I think it's done the best of all of them, but it's one of my favorites on it. So
Mhm.
it seems to do well live. So this is a song I wrote called "Picking You Up."
Here we go.
I've been punching the clock week after week, working the soles off of the boots on my feet and missing you. Wish I was kissing you. And we did what we did, and we tried what we could. I guess you could say just can't turn out good for everyone. But I thought you were the one. Now I'm down looking to drown what's in this cup. But I wish I was picking you up to go riding around in a beat up truck with the windows down, an old dirt road and a little hang solo cup with a moonshine drink. I give anything to see you smile. Just pull over and dance for a while in the headlight glow to the radio, falling in love. I wish I was picking you up. I could pick up my head and put on some grin, tie on a buzz on the town with my friends and drink a few. But I'd still think of you, and I'd still be trying to kill what's in this cup. Cause I wish I was picking you up to go riding around in a beat-up truck with the windows down, an old dirt road and a little Hank solo cup with a moonshine drink. I give anything to see you smile. Just pull over and dance for a while in a headlight glow to the radio, falling in love. I wish I was picking you up. Yeah, I wish I was picking you up. Well, it is what it is, and we ain't what we used to be. But this barroom bar stool ain't where I want to be. 'Cause I wish I was picking you up to go riding around in a beat-up truck with the windows down, an old dirt road and a little Hank solo cup with a moonshine drink. I'd give anything to see you smile. Just pull over and dance for a while in a headlight glow to the radio, falling in love. Yeah, I wish I was picking you up. Yeah, I wish I was picking you up.
Don't be surprised if that song is not played tomorrow. My colleague KKTC True Country 99.9, that song's got a high chance of getting played
Thank
on the radio
you.
call-in. And if you guys don't know I'm a Cole Goodwin fan, then guess what? Found out. Tune in, the sportsguyspodcast.com. And, of course, out there, too, across all the streaming services out there, too, YouTube, everywhere else out there, man. This is one of my new flavors of the month, too, as well. And I guess the guy's going to go very far in his career, too, because it's just a genuine sound. And it's that 90s country feel in that. How did this song kind of start? Was this going through an experience? I mean, where did this idea come from? It's a great song.
No, this one, this is one of those that didn't really come from anything that necessarily happened to me. I actually, when I was at Georgia Southern, I just graduated from Georgia Southern in Statesboro, and when I was still in classes there, I was on the way home from class one day, and I just started humming it, and humming the chorus melody, and I didn't really know what it was, and I kind of just started saying stuff along with that melody, and I think it took me like 15 minutes to get home from class to my house, and by the time I got home and pulled in the driveway, I already had the chorus, and I ran inside and grabbed my guitar and started playing with it. And I think I wrote the whole song in like 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and it kind of just happened, and for no reason or maybe a reason, but yeah, that one doesn't really have a a personal backstory. I hope it makes the listener, whoever that may be, hope it makes them think of whoever they wish they were picking up.
No doubt, too. And that's one of those things that could go a number of different ways, too. Like I said, very close personal relationship with what songs do. Let me ask you about that, too, going through the process of songwriting, because it's different for every artist out there, too, that go through a number of different things when it comes down to it, as far as that personal experience. Some just have a hook and can put things together. What's your favorite process of the whole songwriting, the craft part of it?
Man, what you said about it's different for everybody is very true, and it's different for me every time. And I think because I've written songs that are from personal experience and are true, every detail top to bottom. And I've written songs that was just an idea that I thought, oh, this would be cool, or I haven't really heard a song about this, and wrote it that way. And I've had songs that I had the melody first. I've had songs where I had a guitar riff first, or just a line.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my favorite way to do it is the ones that that are personal experiences that I've lived. Those are always seem to, maybe I don't want to say write themselves and sound too cliche, but there's a truth to that. To a certain extent, they always seem to just kind of fall out in 15, 20 minutes. And when you least expect it, because I've never really been one, at least I do a lot of writing by myself, and I've never just say, I'm going to sit down at 4:00 today and write a song. It kind of just, it'll kind of just creep up on you. And I may go a week and a half or 2 weeks without writing a word down. And then write 4 songs in 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just happens that way, but I think that's my favorite way to go about it, is when it kind of just comes, kind of hits me instead of me chasing that.
No doubt. I love that. And the philosophy of doing that too is when it does come to you, it's a great idea to go ahead and grab the phone, or like I said, whatever technique you use out there too, to put that hook down too. Again, the EP is Soon Enough from Cole Goodwin out there too, voted Savannah's Best Country Artist 2023. We're going to come back, have another performance there too, talk about White Rose, and of course the title track too, Try Me, and some of the other great songs off that EP too as well, and see what's in store for 2024. If I had to guess, I know musicians never rest on their laurels. There's probably new music somewhere coming down the pike too as well. We'll talk about that with Cole Goodwin. Right now, we got to talk about some jewelry too. And if you want some out there too for your spouse, friend, or family member, or always say, send me packages at my door, or even Cole's there in Savannah. Buy some out there too as well. It's handcrafted, handmade. It's jewelry by Tommy. Our friends have you covered out there. Email burleysystem@yahoo.com today to order. It's handcrafted, handmade. It's jewelry by Tommy out there too. Quick word from our sponsors. More with Cole Goodwin here, KKTC True Country 99.9, and our friends at hightidecountry.net. Stay tuned.
Ever thought about owning your own business? Tanya Lapsley-Cockett did. She decided a little over 5 years ago that she was going to be an entrepreneur, so she started her travel business. Tanya is married and works a full-time job. Her business has given her amazing opportunities. Not only does she get to help people create memories by booking their vacations, sporting and entertainment tickets, rental cars, etc., but it has also allowed her to help other families create legacy income. The travel industry is extremely lucrative and is an $8 trillion industry. The travel industry is projected to earn in excess of $15 trillion over the next 10 years. The travel industry pays its professionals up to 70 to 80% commission on the travel that they book for themselves and their clients. As a travel business owner, Tanya books travel and teaches others how to own and operate their own travel business. She is a director in training on the marketing side of her business, where she has helped over 90 families start their own businesses. If you're interested in owning your own travel business, please contact Tanya at 917-743-1199 or at ladytlc3555@me.com.
The Caden Gordon Show. Today's Best Country Mix is a 2-hour show playing independent and mainstream country music you know and love. Be sure to check it out at thecadengordonshow.com for more information on the show.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by thesportsguyspodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by thesportsguyspodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And I'm going to be drinking tonight, too, as well. So drink with our friends at Bangtail Whiskey. Get your order in now, bangtail.com. Brandon's been making a lot of progress out there, too, as well. Seeing him go to a lot of taste test events. And it is a whiskey that's growing from Orlando, Florida, invaded Nashville, invading Texas, and a whole lot more out there, too. So I'll be drinking at bangtail.com today. Join me. And I tell you what, you'll have a burn that's, it's good, man. It's good stuff out there, too. And we'll be drinking to some Cole Goodwin music out there for Soon Enough, which is the EP out there, picking you up, the song we just played there, too, as well. Hey, I wanted to ask you, too, in 2024, New Year's resolutions, people still doing that kind of thing out there, too. It didn't have to be just January. But moving forward, I always say musicians never rest on their laurels. Talk about some new music down the pike. I know you're excited about that, too, right?
Yeah, totally. We obviously it's been a little, been a little while since we put anything out, going on actually coming up on a year since he's been out, and not really on purpose. I just kind of accidentally booked almost every weekend out for all of last year, and ended up getting wrapped up playing a bunch of shows, and that just never really got around to getting back in the studio. But but yeah, we've recorded some new music. We've got five new singles on the way, starting next month.
Mm.
First one, nobody knows this yet, but the first one's coming out April 19th. Super excited about that. It's done really well on TikTok so far, which is crazy to me because I've always been terrible at TikTok. But feels like we're getting a little better at it, which is crazy. You know, it makes the world go round. But yeah, first one's coming out April 19th, and then we're gonna shoot to keep them pretty steady through this year. But super excited about the ones that are coming. We've been playing some of them live, and the response has been good, and playing them at different writers rounds and whatnot. But yeah, I'm super stoked about them. So
talk about the big one next week. You called me today and told me about April 5th, which is a great day there too. First week, we flipped the calendar coming up next week too. Not sure where the time's gone, but we had him on a while back, and he's taking the world by storm right now. And everything he's done as far as one of the hottest new artists out there too. Zach Top bringing the originality back to putting the country in country too as well, which is great out there too. And big show with him April 5th, South Carolina, right?
Totally. Yeah, we're playing. So I went to school at Georgia Southern. I'm from Pooler, right outside of Savannah, Georgia. Statesboro is where Georgia Southern's at, and we're that's kind of our home base. That's where my band's based out of, and we're playing Statesboro next Thursday night. And then I'm going with Zach and playing that show in Anderson, South Carolina at Wendell's with Zach that Friday, and then actually we go to Athens, Georgia from there and play another show with my band in Athens. But yeah, Zach he's cream of the crop, man. He's top notch. He knows exactly what he wants to do, and he knows how to achieve that, and he sticks to it, and it's impressive. It's cool to watch.
I love it too. Cold Beer and Country Music comes out next Friday too as well. Put that on your radar. Use Me. We actually played that single this morning in our call-in for KKTC True Country out there too, which there's 4 or 5 songs you hear now. Of course, Sounds Like the Radio was the most added song to country radio back in January. And of course, my daughter's actually singing the one There's the Sun, which is also off that record too, which is a beautiful song out there too. And just putting it, I love the pedal steel and the steel guitar, the 90s country era with some of the artists we talked about that you grew up listening to. And it's, I mean, a dime a dozen out there. You can throw them out there too. And I mean, just all those great artists that paved the way for your particular sound, for his. And I think that's a really good thing for country music, because I think there was a gap in there. And Cole, and you can agree, disagree type thing, or maybe disagree to agree, but there was a gap in there. At least I feel like there was, ever since my DJing days, and I've been doing this for over 20 years. But looking back, where I missed your sound, Zach's sound, Randall King's sound, and I was talking to some people in Nashville too when I was there for the country radio seminar. There's that thirst and that hunger for it to kind of resurface again. At least I feel that way. You?
Totally. Yeah, I am. Yeah, and I'm not scared to talk on it.
I'm not either.
For a while, the genre, I think it got a little too broad. Not saying I don't like that music. I love all the stuff that I've heard. For the most part, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the roots of country music, and I think folks like Zach and Randall King. Actually, funny you brought up Randall. I literally have almost blown the speakers out of my car today. Listening to Randall all day today. But yeah, him, Josh Ward, big Josh Ward. Those guys are, they're doing it. Jake Worthington. They're honing in on that, and I think people are like you said are hungry for it. And hey, the good things come back around, right?
They do, no doubt about it. 3 chords and the truth never lies. And I'll tell you another guy that's doing it out there. You may have heard of him, you may not. We had him on a while back, but he's off of Red Street Records, which is Gary LaFox, his label. A guy named Ryan Larkins, who wrote The Painter for Cody Johnson. His Ryan Larkins EP right now. There's one on there called several songs in there. Man That Holds the Beer is one good one there. I mean, 3 chords and the truth, pedal steel guitar, and some great things there. And one that's escaping me right now, but I'll get the title here in a second. But Ryan Larkins, you probably heard of, Cole, and he's another fantastic, just up and coming artist who's really putting that C back in the country too as well. Again, the EP is soon enough out there from Cole Goodwin. Of course, April 19th, the brand new single comes out. Look for all the tour dates and schedules, things like that, out there too on Cole's social media too as well. Stay tuned for that. Could be coming to a city near you to buy a ticket and do all the good stuff out there too. I'll tell you what, hand pick them, White Rose soon enough. Try me. Anything off this record, I would be fair game to play. It's dealer's choice. What we got?
Man, actually, can I play the one that's coming out in April?
You one up me, man. Let's do it. I didn't know if you had approval to play it or not. Sometimes people say we can't play it to the exact date, but hey, I appreciate that.
This has been the coolest thing to see lately. I wrote this song accidentally. We talked about songs just kind of happening.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a good buddy of mine that we graduated from Georgia Southern together. He's actually on this season of American Idol.
Really?
Will
Okay.
Will Mosley, who is doing his thing lately. He's one of my great friends. We were in Nashville back in November together, and it's funny. I don't write with a whole lot of people, but I write with Will a lot. And like I say, we're in the grand scheme of things, we're not that far from each other down here in Georgia. And every time we're in Nashville together on the same week, we always end up in a room together. And this times, and I brought a song in that I wanted to finish writing, and we finished writing it. And there was a few people there at the Airbnb, and they were all going to supper to eat somewhere. And me and Will were just going to hang back and kind of just catch up and hang out. And
Mm-hmm.
one of them made a joke. A girl that was there made a joke and said, "Will, how are we going to live happily ever after if you won't come eat dinner with me?" And he said, "You go on out. I'll be here when you get home." And I kind of looked at him and said, "Dang, Will, I think we might could do something with that." And he said, "Well, I'll tell you what, go grab your guitar." And I just started kind of playing along. And
Mm-hmm.
I think I sang the first 3 lines. I just sang them off the top of my head. And he said, "Whoa," he said, "Stop." He said, let's go on the porch and finish that. And wrote it like 25 minutes and played it for the last 2 folks that were there. And one of them posted it on TikTok, and it did very well overnight. And then I posted it on my TikTok, and it did even better. And since
Mm-hmm.
then, kind of just snowballed. And there's probably been, I don't know, 100 or so or more than that people covered on TikTok, which is just mind-boggling to me. And it's opened a bunch of doors for me already. And it's not even out yet. But yeah, this is my next single that'll be out April 19th, available for pre-save now. It's called "When You Get Home."
Here we go.
You say you're going out with friends for a girls' night out, and I'm sitting here alone, just laying on the couch for the 5th night straight, getting used to the quiet round here. You might make it home while I'm still awake, or I might not see you till the very next day. But you don't seem to care, so I don't know why I'm still here. But I feel the leaving my mind. I reckon you got me this time. I can't think of a thing you could do to run me on. So baby, go on now. I'll be here when you get home. Got the TV muted, but it's playing our show. A little Whitley side B on my radio. My phone in my lap, just waiting to see your name. Well, the dog started growling when you walked in the door. He didn't even know who you were anymore. I just think that's crazy. Me and him both feel the same. But I feel the leaving my mind. I reckon you got me this time. I can't think of a thing you could do to run me on. So baby, go on now. I'll be here when you get home. Oh, 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 oh. I feel the leaving my mind. Oh, I reckon you got me this time. I can't think of a thing you could do to run me on. baby, go on. I'll be here when you get home. Oh, baby, go on now. I'll be here when you get home. Oh, 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 oh.
Brother, I've said this many times. We're gonna meet in person one day, and when I give a toast to you with a beer or whatever my drink is, it's gonna be for a damn good reason too, because you're just authentic to the core.
Thank you.
Artist, brother, and I love your sound. I'm digging it, and I think it's going to be awesome to watch you rise in this thing called country music and this whole music thing, man. It's so genuine. Again, soon enough is the EP out there, and when you get home, the new single April 19th. And for all the fans out there, hey, if you don't like that, I got nothing for you. What can I do? I just feature the great artists here on the program, but I know many are going to say we do like that because it's genuine country music out there too, and just you remind me so much of being from Beaumont, Texas, down here. And growing up where it's Mark Chestnut and Tracy Byrd and Clay Walker and George Jones country down here, man, you just that authenticity to dot I's and cross T's and really put that sound back in your music, man. I commend you. Can't thank you enough for really staying true to those roots out there. Hey, tell me about White Rose before I take my next time out. I want to know about this song.
Yeah, totally. White Rose is one of those that I didn't live it, but I kind of got to see it. In Statesboro, where I went to college, my uncle, I've got family there, and my uncle owns some convenience stores, and I worked at one of them for 3 years while I was, in classes there, and kind of on the outskirts, kind of out in the country, and you can, only imagine all the things I got to see doing that and working, late nights or midday, all hours really. Got to see a lot of what I wanted to be and a whole lot of what I didn't want to be, and just some really eye-opening stuff. And it was always the same reoccurring thing that I would see, the come in, being 18, 19, on drugs, have a baby, can't afford the baby, baby grows up, happens to them too. And kind of just this cycle that just kept repeating itself. And like I said, I didn't live it, but I got to see it. And it was really, sad to me and sad to see these really good people that had kind of just got caught up in something that they shouldn't have been. And I was staying with my granny a lot at the time, who also lives in Statesboro, and got off work one night and went to her house and sat in her little back room where I used to kind of just debrief and play guitar and whatnot. And she's got a vase back there with a couple artificial white roses in it. And I said, man, that would be kind of cool to write a song called White Rose. It's kind of a cool country title. And I kind of just could, mesh those two together and name the character White Rose in that story, and it ended up being one of my favorite ones off of that. But
no, it's good stuff, and I love the "Make Me Believe You Love Me," and this what a great way. And you said it really well with it from an intro standpoint to really introduce that album, which technically that's what it's there. Then right into Soon Enough, and then closing with "Make Me Believe You Love Me," which is another fantastic song. Love it.
Yeah, actually, that the intro on that EP actually is my mom and her two sisters singing. So
really,
yeah,
okay,
that old gospel hymn, "Consider the Lilies." That's actually an old tape of my mom and her sisters when they were, I think, in middle school or high school. That's actually them singing that. So we, actually, her little sister, my aunt, passed away in December of last year or year before. So that was kind of my ode to her with that. But yeah. That's my mom. So
I'll tell you what, man, it's good stuff right there too. And that's again that genuine feel, man, that authenticity you put in your music, man. That's what makes people feel it. No wonder you were booked up for so many shows last year for 2023. And it's hard to get in the studio too, because you had great music to go out there and share with the fans. And that's what it's all about too as well. We got to take a quick time out here too. Coming back here, if you want some jewelry, I keep telling people Jewelry by Tommy's out there for your spouse, friend, family member. Jewelry by Tommy's got you covered. Email a friend Tom Burley at burleysystem@yahoo.com today to order. It's handcrafted, handmade. It's Jewelry by Tommy. We'll come back, talk maybe a little Georgia sports. You never know what I'll get into here when it comes down to it. Maybe some Bulldogs talk, maybe some, who knows, man, Major League Baseball, Atlanta Braves, whatever I feel like doing to March Madness. Coming up here, the sportsguyspodcast.com. And, of course, out there, KKTC True Country 99.9. And our friends at HighTideCountry.net. Final segment with Cole Goodwin. Stay tuned.
Ever thought about owning your own business? Tanya Lapsley-Cockett did. She decided a little over 5 years ago that she was going to be an entrepreneur, so she started her travel business. Tanya is married and works a full-time job. Her business has given her amazing opportunities. Not only does she get to help people create memories by booking their vacations, sporting and entertainment tickets, rental cars, etc., but it has also allowed her to help other families create legacy income. The travel industry is extremely lucrative and is an $8 trillion industry. The travel industry is projected to earn in excess of $15 trillion over the next 10 years. The travel industry pays its professionals up to 70 to 80% commission on the travel that they book for themselves and their clients. As a travel business owner, Tanya books travel and teaches others how to own and operate their own travel business. She is a director in training on the marketing side of her business, where she has helped over 90 families start their own businesses. If you're interested in owning your own travel business, please contact Tanya at 917-743-1199 or at ladytlc3555@me.com.
The Caden Gordon Show, today's best country mix, is a 2-hour show playing independent and mainstream country music you know and love. Be sure to check it out at thecadengordonshow.com for more information on the show.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And, of course, coming up tomorrow, good friend Sarah Beth Tate back here on the show. We'll wrap up with a couple on Thursday, take Friday off, take Monday off, Easter weekend. Enjoy that holiday, too. And, of course, next week, the legend, and I say legend, she's been around a long time, Barbara Fairchild, right here on the Backstage Pass, 70s, 80s, great. Teddy Bear song was big back then for Barbara. And, of course, we're going to talk to her. She's hot right now on The Voice, and on The Voice she is, no doubt. Karen Waldrop coming back here on the Backstage Pass next week. Looking forward to checking in with Karen to see what's going on. Of course, the competition, she won the battle rounds, and now moving on to the knockouts too. And Karen Waldrop, a force to be reckoned with there on this season 25 of The Voice. And what coaches, Dan and Shay. My God, she's got legends, Grammy Award winners, Dan and Shay, to learn from there too. Back here with Cole Goodwin on the show, of course, KKTC, True Country 99.9, and our friends at HighTideCountry.net, always at the SportsGuysPodcast.com. So, Cole, I found myself getting lost in the NCAA tournament. Of course, A&M had played for a while, me being an Aggies fan, down here from Texas, too. Played Houston. A lot of points scored. Sweet 16 set for this Thursday. Do you have a favorite? Were you paying attention to this big tournament?
Man, you know, I'm gonna break your heart here and be completely honest. I've never really got into basketball. We did watch. So one of my best friends got married this past weekend here in Savannah, and we did sit around Saturday, day of the wedding. We did sit around and watch some highlights. But man, I can never sit still long enough to lock in and really pay attention. And I hate it, honestly, because I used to be a big baseball fan and college football, and I think I got to watch one Georgia Bulldog game this year, and I don't know if I maybe watched 2 Braves games this year, and it's, yeah, you get busy, and I end up it slips away from it. I end up not keeping up with it anymore. But it's sad, but I guess it's good. You know, it's a good busy. So yeah. Man, I haven't really dove into the March Madness.
It's all good. Hey, I know baseball season is coming up this week, Thursday, Friday, opening weekend. I will be sitting back watching my Houston Astros start another quest for an 8th straight American League Championship Series. Back in the day, that was the rivalry for me, at least, National League. It was, if it wasn't, of course, the Dodgers more in the 80s, but then Atlanta Braves, Houston Astros were just something to see back in the 90s. The Braves had that decade. of 8 straight National League Championship Series 2, winning the division every year. John Smoltz and Tom Glavine and Denny Nagel and all those great players, Chipper Jones. Great franchise that it was back then. I just loved it. Are you excited about MLB kicking off this week?
Yeah, man. I actually, back in the day, I went through a little phase where I thought I was Chipper Jones, and I grew up playing. Baseball consumed my childhood from t-ball all the way up to high school. Playing tournament baseball every weekend, all over the place before music became, something that I got into. But yeah, I went through the whole Chipper Jones phase, and thought he was the coolest man to ever walk planet Earth. And as I did with Alan Jackson, as I did with Kenny Chesney when I was little, and a few other guys. But yeah, so I'm excited and excited for baseball weather.
It's going to be a lot of fun too, especially with it trying to change right now, and it's still almost April. We always say, with April showers bring the May flowers, that old expression. So we'll see how things go too. Hey, I finally got to get me a little bit of that Hattie B's when I was in Nashville for the country radio seminar, doing my show live from there too, and it was worth the wait. Is that your go-to? I guess when you're in the mood for hot chicken,
Man, this is going to sound so basic of me, but like every time I'm in Nashville, I end up eating Chick-fil-A like 4 days in a row.
Wow, of all places.
It's just, I don't know, man. It's a safe bet for me, and I kind of get wrapped up sometimes and forget to eat lunch, and it's one of those things where I'll be like, oh, I need to eat. There's a Chick-fil-A. I'll stop in real quick. And maybe I'm just impatient and don't want to wait in lines, but yeah, man, Chick-fil-A is my go-to anytime I'm on the road or in Nashville. And it just so happens that my buddy that I stay with when I'm up there, he lives like literally a minute and a half away from one. So it's deadly.
I finally got the medium when I walked in there. Of course, the line was out the door. It was me and a couple of my artist friends there walking in, sit down at the table. Well worth the wait too. Got the medium because they said you can't go mild or you're kind of like a sissy when you go in there. But for me, it was the medium, and I got the 3 tenders to 2 sides. It was filling, and I think me being a big guy that can't eat about 265. I look back, I was like, man, I was kind of a what that day, and I just had to leave some on the table, and I didn't even take it to go. I said this was just too good, because you don't want to let it lose its kind of flavor and its
Right.
The taste.
Like freezing fish.
Yeah, I mean, it was just reality. I had to eat it right there too, and people are all taking pictures, and I'm like, don't do all that kind of stuff. Just let me sit back and enjoy. Of course, there was 2 others I want to try during CMA Fest. One's Party Foul, and one is called Prince's, which was the original hot chicken, and so I just it was good, man. They had the flavor on it. The medium was just enough too, and you get you some ranch or whatever sauce you can get into was cool. Hey, let me ask you this. You mentioned going to college there at Statesboro and graduating too. If you'd never taken the path of a musician, I'm curious to know what you would have done for an occupation. Well, you mentioned some jobs you did have, but was there one that would have been a full-time job if it wasn't making music?
Probably not while I was in school, but my degree was in marketing.
Okay.
And which is pretty broad and basic, but everything's got to be marketed, and you can kind of use that with what I'm doing in music. But I would have probably settled somewhere along those lines, marketing or advertising. But I do have this fantasy of wanting to be a chiropractor, man. I've gone through phases where it's really cool to be a chiropractor. I don't want to go to school for that long.
Yeah.
Like
I said,
cool butt heads, man.
I think good. You got this music thing going real well, my friend. So keep at it too as well. Hey, first time you ever hit the stage, no matter what level of your music career, what song came out?
Great Balls of Fire, Jerry Lee Lewis.
One I would not have expected there too. I like
Right.
that. It's good stuff right there. Binge watching. What are you getting into now? It could be sports, could be anything.
Oh, now that we're late March, anything turkey hunting. My anytime the TV comes on, it's something that has to do with a turkey right now.
I may take you up with an offer one day. I've just got to get the gun out again and just go shoot one with you, because I haven't had good. Well, I say wild turkey in a while. You always say so the store. No, it's different. Wild turkey is different than store bought turkey or butterball or something like that too. So looking forward to that too. April 19th, new single comes out too as well. You heard it first here on the Backstage Pass. It's going to be exciting for Cole Goodwin here. Big 2024 lined up. April 5th, Anderson, South Carolina. Big show with Zach Top out there too, and of course Zach Top's new album is April 5th. Cold Beer and Country Music, and of course if you didn't get a chance to check it out. If it didn't do enough for you today, too, soon enough it will. The EP Soon Enough is out there across all those digital streaming platforms. Go check it out and download all the great music. Cole, appreciate the time. Good to get to know you, man, over the past few weeks. And my friend, new single comes out too, and all these great shows. We're gonna do this again. Hope you had fun.
Man, thank you, Brandon. Thank you for having me. Hopefully, I get to meet you at CMA Fest. I'll be in town.
Dude, you just text me. We're gonna go meet. Let's have a beer. Let's enjoy it.
Cool. Thank you so much for having me.
You got it, man. One of the most genuine guys out there, too, authentic to the core, emerging country artist out there, Cole Goodwin here on the Backstage Pass. And thanks to our sponsors and our friends at KKTC True Country 99.9. Don't be surprised if we play Picking You Up coming up tomorrow. The call in there, the morning show with Shelly. It could happen there, too, about 8:30, which is good. And, of course, our friends, hightidecountry.net. And always powered by the sportsguys podcast.com. Tomorrow, Sarah Beth Tate. And, of course, Thursday coming up, a couple of shows there. Olivia Penalva, great pop artist in Canada. And, of course, next week, the legend Barbara Fairchild and Karen Waldrop here on this season 25 of NBC's The Voice. We'll talk to you guys soon here on the Backstage Pass, hightidecountry.net. And our friends, KKTC True Country 99.9. Join us in the morning and via the LMNOC streaming app out there, too, as well. 7 days a week at 10 Mountain Time. And, of course, may have a new time coming up to announce over the next couple of days. The show 7 days a week might be in prime time. Stay tuned for that, too, as well as we shift gears and keep the great artists featured out there, too, here on the Backstage Pass. Until then, take care, and God bless. We'll see you soon.